Welcome back to Travels with Alicia. Today, I'm going to share my thoughts on Da Nang, Vietnam. This is take 3 for this podcast. The first 2 recordings just didn't go so well. I wasn't doing justice to this amazing city, so I started over. In my opinion, it's one of the stars of Vietnam. In March of 2024, I visited Da Nang as part of a 3-week Vietnam trip. It was my favorite spot. Da Nang is Vietnam's 3rd largest city. It is right between Hanoi to the north and Ho Chi Minh City to the south. It's a beach town or beach city. It's located right on the water, and it's fantastic. To sum it up, I can't imagine anywhere else that offers such a great lifestyle at an unbelievable low price point. I've traveled to many low-cost places, but this beach town offers so much. Many people choose to stay here longer, so it's a real mix of people who are just vacationing for a week or so and expats who are staying for several months because it just offers a great lifestyle. But what makes this place so amazing is that it has every level of luxury. So while you can live on very little, you can also find high-end luxury. In 2024, Bill Gates and his girlfriend spent 4 days in Da Nang's Son Tram Peninsula. In this area, there are so many high-end luxury resorts. Many of India's most wealthy families and leaders have also stayed here recently. Another plus about Da Nang is its location. It is so easy to reach many major destinations in Southeast Asia. As I said earlier, it's located in the middle between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh, and there's about 35 flights a day to both of those cities. But there's also many other nonstop flights. So if you wanted to base yourself in Da Nang for a while, you could easily get to, for example, Bangkok, Thailand. You can get there in less than 2 hours, and they have many flights a day, all nonstop. You can get to Hong Kong nonstop, Siem Reap, and Chiang Mai, and all of those are 2 hours and under. So if you go a little bit further, like 2.5 hours, nonstop flights to Kuala Lumpur or Manila in the Philippines. And even you can get to Singapore nonstop several times a day. So this is another thing that really excited me because I really loved Da Nang and I wanted to go back. So if I take another trip, and I've been trying to get back to Bangkok, if I do, I know that in less than 2 hours, I can get a nonstop flight to Da Nang and enjoy the beach town there as well. So that's one thing I'm definitely going to do. Why else is it so great? I mean, there is warm weather year-round. And really, the only time I would avoid going to Da Nang is from September to the first week in January. That's kind of high rainy season. But any other time of the year, I would say it's a great destination to go to. It's so walkable. They have beautiful walkways near the water. There's a broad range of accommodations, restaurants, and tons of seafood, which I love. And it's close to so many interesting places. For me, I just felt happy to be there, and I had been traveling a lot, and the minute I got to Da Nang, I could tell it was a place to relax and to recover. So my sister and I, we brought our books, and we would go to the beach, and there was a nice cocktail lounge there with sofas and low tables, and we would just hang out and enjoy, hours at a time, just relaxing in between visiting and touring different places. And it's a place that I felt we could just put our feet up and enjoy. So we stayed in a 4.5-star hotel called the Sala Da Nang Beach Hotel. This was $52 a night, and it included a full breakfast buffet. And it was amazing. It had Western food as well as a full choice of many types of Asian food, upscale coffees, cappuccinos, lots of juices, and it was just fantastic. The pool was beautiful, and it was on the roof, but it was very tropical. It had very large plants and flowers, and it really was one of the most beautiful pools I've ever seen. It also had great views of the ocean and sunset. They also had a fancy steakhouse and wine bar, I think, that had a great view, but we didn't go check that out. This hotel really was across the street from the beach, and so it was very easy to get around. They even had an unofficial driving service right near the hotel. We tried to use Grab one day, and someone from across the street came over and said, "Oh, you can cancel that. We'll take you." And we felt very like maybe it's sketchy. Who knows? And the hotel was wonderful. They said, "No, we know them. They are Grab drivers, but they also will take you and actually wait for you somewhere," which we couldn't believe how helpful that was. And we used that service more than once when we went to different destinations. And I'll share some of those destinations later in the podcast. But it was very helpful for them to take us and actually just wait in the parking lot till we were finished and then bring us back. The other thing is that they had right next to this hotel like a laundry service down a little teeny alley. A family lived there. I brought a huge bag of clothes, and it was between $3 and $4. I think we dropped it off at night. It was done by 6 in the morning, so it was really nice. Also, on the other side of the hotel, they had a really nice massage place that offered like teas and snacks, and then after your massage, you got to order from a menu. You could get like iced coffee or juices, and my sister and I always got the carrot juice. It was really nice. This place was really great because it was open till 11 o'clock or later. The massage was like $8 for an hour, so more than some of the other places, but we loved it. We thought it was worth it, and we would go back over and over again. So, as I said, I'm actually looking to return to Da Nang, and I've been looking about planning a trip in 2025, probably back to Thailand, but I want to make sure I get to visit Da Nang. So I was looking at more of the hotels. So I told you about our hotel, the Sala Da Nang, and honestly, there are so many nice hotels, all that include breakfast, and all of them were under $100. I mean, they ranged from $25 up to $80. And again, the hotel that I stayed at is actually $48 for the dates I was looking. But I'm thinking I really want to try something new as well. So I might stay at the Sala Da Nang for a few days and then also try a new hotel. But this is just I'm trying to maybe impress on you. This is how great the place is. I am already trying to find a way to get back there. So Da Nang has just put so much into tourism the past 15 years, and it's really paid off. Next, I'd like to walk through, I have 6 places of amazing things you can either do or visit while you're in Da Nang. So let's go through those. The first, and probably everyone's favorite, is the beach. And my key beach is the busy section of the beach that has lots of restaurants and activities. People are playing volleyball. And it happened to be right across from the Sala Da Nang Hotel, so that was convenient. But it has smooth white sand. It's gentle slope. It's clear all year round, and the water's warm. And it's surrounded by beautiful coconut trees line the beach. The beach is absolutely beautiful in Da Nang. It's actually 20 miles long, and it stretches from the Son Tra Peninsula all the way to Hoi An. So, there'll be key areas you'll see where all the hotels are, but this is a beautiful stretch of beach. You'll find beach clubs, you'll find coffee stands. It's a perfect place to go for walks, and it's very busy early in the morning and in the evening. The locals really don't love the sun in the middle of the day, so you might see some tourists there, but other than that, the beaches are pretty empty during the middle of the day. I highly recommend it. The next thing I want to talk about is we did a trip to Banyan Hills. So this is the number 2 thing I would suggest. So I'm not a person who just loves amusement parks or Disney for that matter. I mean, I did take my kids there a lot when they were young, but I would never put that on my list of somewhere I want to go. But imagine Disney World placed on the top of a mountain. And it really was much better than somewhere like Disney World. It was geared more to adults. It was just a beautiful place that had gardens and different areas that you could walk through like they had. And so maybe it's more like an Epcot a little bit in that like it had an area that was like France, and then it just had so many different sections. It had a spiritual section of different religions and temples and shrines, and it was so picture perfect that so many people have been coming here. Now, one of the exciting things to say is, how do you get there? We took that driver. I think I mentioned to you that we had a driver that took us there. It's about maybe 40 minutes away, and I think we paid him $30 or $40 to stay all day. So he drove us and he sat in the parking lot, and the way you get to Banyan Hills is on a cable car. So you go into the entrance and they will route you. There are many cable cars and many different stations, and these cable cars, it's like a 25, 30-minute ride. This mountain is so large. Like you will think that you're to the top, and then that's just one peak, and you keep going and keep going. It was very scary at first, but the minute you start to relax, you'll see how absolutely gorgeous it is, and the views were amazing. So we got there early in the morning, but by 2 o'clock, it got really, really busy. And I will tell you, my opinion kind of started to change, like it was almost too much. So I highly recommend getting there early. It was fantastic. And this is also the site where the Golden Hand Bridge is. It's called the Hands of God Bridge or the Golden Bridge. And you might have seen it in pictures. There's two giant hands holding a pedestrian bridge. And that is at Banyan Hills. So it is definitely worth getting up there and seeing. Just do it early and get out fast before the crowds get there. So what's next? Number 3 is, I would say, you have to see the Dragon Bridge. This is another famous site of Da Nang. They have a bridge. It's a giant yellow dragon that's on the bridge, and it's the length of the bridge. And on the weekends, like around 8 or maybe it's 9 o'clock, it shoots fire and then spits water. So it's quite the spectacle, and people, all the tourists and locals gather around. And when it spits water, if you get up close, the kids all get soaking wet and they love it. But there's a lot happening around that area at the Dragon Bridge. There's also a night market, and they had amazing seafood. And it's just exciting. There's also like a love bridge there, Love Lock Bridge. And, it's, people can get little locks and put them on the bridge and write their names on it. But I would say definitely do that there if you're there on a weekend. So number 4 is go to Marble Mountain. And this is one of the most popular attractions in Da Nang. It is incredible. And we took a driver there as well who waited for us. It was about 20 minutes south of Da Nang, and we went up, and they have an elevator. So, of course, we took the elevator up. So we thought, oh, good, this will be easy. But once you get up there, there's still lots of climbing and stairs, and a lot of the older people really were sitting around the elevator. But there's several mountains, like named for water and wood and earth, and there's actually temples in the mountains. So sometimes you'll have to climb up to get into an entrance into the mountain, and sometimes you'll go down. It's definitely worth seeing, and I highly recommend to go to Marble Mountain. It was worth it. The next place to go is Sun Tra Mountain, and this is known as Monkey Mountain. And I will tell you, we had a blast there. We did this on the same day, so the driver took us to both, and we saw the monkeys. They're very cute. I mean, it's interesting. There was different monkeys everywhere. These were like red monkeys and had funny personalities. There weren't too many of them, so it wasn't overwhelming. But when we got up to this mountain, this is where the tallest statue is, the Goddess of Mercy, and you can see it really from if you're in Da Nang on the beach, you can look up and see this statue. And they also have a beautiful pagoda that is landscaped and has it's like an arch to the ocean. When you're way up high on the mountain, the views are gorgeous, and they had literally hundreds of giant bonsais everywhere. I guess that sounds funny, a giant bonsai, but you can tell they were old trees just cut very small in pots everywhere. It was decorated beautifully. This was one of my favorite things to go to Sun Tra Mountain, so I highly recommend that. And then lastly, I'm going to mention a very easy day trip. It's to Hoi An. And so no visit's complete without taking this trip. It is a historical town. It's a UNESCO heritage site. It's 45 minutes south of Da Nang. And I'm not going to cover too much about it. You will definitely have seen pictures of this. So when you see pictures of Vietnam, sometimes they'll show a town that's all yellow with lanterns lit up at night and people on little boats putting lanterns into the water. That is Hoi An. It is so beautiful, and I knew about it before going to Da Nang, and we chose to actually spend a week in Da Nang and then go spend 3 nights in Hoi An because it does get really, really busy. And we just wanted to be able to do it in small doses. And this way we found a great hotel and we were able to do it in small bits versus trying to tackle everything in a day trip. In my next podcast, I'm going to cover Hoi An and give you all the tips and facts about going to that beautiful site. So in my opinion, again, the best time to get here is early January and through May. But any time other than that monsoon season would work. I really, really have loved my time there, and I can't wait to get back. I hope it's been helpful in your planning, and maybe I piqued your interest in wanting to go to Da Nang. Thanks for joining me. Stay tuned for the next Travels with Alicia, where I cover Hoi An, Vietnam.